Okay, everybody, what I'd like to do now are a couple of random questions just to practice. So if you have your little green review books, right, I want you to go grab that. You can pause me if you need to go and grab your little green review book and go to page 23. I want to talk about the January 2024 exam and do this question here, number 37, okay, which was the 6-pointer. Okay. And actually we're going to go back to, actually let's do both pages 22 and 23. This was a 4-pointer and a 6-pointer. We haven't done one of these in a while, so I wanted to try one. So it says on the graph, so we're on page 22 in your green review books. On the graph, draw at least one cycle of a sine graph passing through the point 0, 2 that has an amplitude of 3 and a period of pi and a midline of y equals 2. So the first thing you guys want to do is plot the point, right? So I'm going to go to my graph here, 0, 2. Okay. And it has a midline. I always do, if they give me a point, I plot the point, and then the midline, super important, it's a dashed line. Okay, so that's our midline. Okay. Now, the big thing we want to do here is we have to figure out which graph they are asking for, and they're asking for sine. So what you guys need to remember is there's 2 different trig graphs. Okay. One that starts up high, comes down, and ends up high. One that starts at the origin, comes down, ends on the origin. So the question is which of this, right? The one that starts at the origin, that one is sine. The one that starts up high, that is cosine. Okay? So they're asking for sine. Okay? So what that tells me is, okay, that's your y-axis. We want to start on the y-axis. Normally we start at the origin, but the midline means we're actually going to start there at that dot. Okay? Now if you notice, it starts and it ends on that line. So you always count, right, a couple of boxes, right? And what is our period here? Sketch at least one cycle has a period of 4. So I'm counting at 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. Okay. So that's the first point. That's the last point. Okay. This point's right in the middle, so I'm going to go right in the middle of those. Okay. Then we're going to go 3 above the line. 1, 2, 3. That's what your amplitude is. It tells you how high and low. And then 3 below. 1, 2, 3. Connect the dots. And there you go. That's our sine graph. Now notice it says a period of pi. That means the picture should be over by pi, which it is. So you're all set, right? Based on your graph, state an interval in which it is increasing. Increasing means going up. So if you notice, right here it's going up, then it's going down, another going up. So we just have to give one interval where it's going up, and they're talking about x's. So from 0 to this dot. All right, so it's 0, 2. Now notice that dot is halfway to pi over 2. So you just do half times pi over 2. If you multiply that together, you get pi over 4. There you go. That's a trig graph. Okay. Now let's take a look at this 6-pointer that I originally wanted to talk about. Okay. Okay. A manufacturer of sweatshirts finds the profits and costs fluctuate depending on the number of products created. Creating more products doesn't always increase profits because it requires costs, such as larger facility and more workers. The manufacturing company determines the profit P of X, which is this guy, in thousands of dollars, as a function. Okay. Graph this over the interval 0 to 9. All right, so what this is asking, if they give you an interval, that is the portion of the table they are asking for you to make. So you must get all of those numbers between 0 and 9. and write them down. Okay, so I go to my calculator. I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to type that in. All right, so I got negative x cubed okay, so I type it in.
Good morning. Everyone, please.
Now you guys can hear the announcements that they're giving here at school. We had a fire alarm during the exam today.
So students who are testing, wait for the final directions from proctors before you leave the exam location.
So I'm just copying down my table here.
At the same time, we're going to ask afternoon proctors, please make your way to exam rooms and students. So that's all going to happen at the same time right now. We're going to be releasing this morning's exam and also releasing students and asking proctors to go to exam rooms at the same time. So that's all going to happen. But the students who are
and then look how they scaled it. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Final directions from the proctors, and be aware that there's a short bus.
And notice they're scaled it for us 30. So that's 15, 45. This is 60.
Cross streets to get on the correct bus. So they send more buses, so there'll be less time to even to sit on a hot bus. I just want to thank everybody for today's help. Things got a little crazy, but we're making it through. So once again, all proctors to exam rooms for afternoon exams. Students who are testing in the afternoon, you can make your way to those rooms at the same time and wait for proctor instructions. Students that are in testing rooms from this morning, wait for final directions, and then make your way to your buses and loved ones who are picking you up in the front line. Thank you all to everybody again.
All right, and I'm just carefully going to plot these numbers. So everybody see, while Mr. Albanese was talking, I scaled it. Every other line is 30, right? So 30, 60, right? So I'm just ballparking these guys now. 2 would be negative. So this would be negative 45, so maybe about here. 3 is negative 18, so about there. 4 is positive 15, which would be there. There we go. 6 is 69, which would be there, approximately. 7 is 78. Right? 8 is 67, so it's coming back down again. And 9 is 30. All right, so this is worth 2 points basically. You get 2 points for getting your table and 2 points for plotting the points correctly. Notice I did not put arrows because they wanted us to start and stop at 0 and 9. So that's the beginning of the picture. Okay, next question. Here we go. Over the given interval, state the coordinates of the max of P and round all values to the nearest integer. Explain what this point represents. All right, so we have to find the maximum point over this interval. So I'm actually going to go to my calculator. Okay, now go to y equals. We already typed it in, but I'm going to go to window. And look, they gave us 0 to 9. So I'm going to do 0, 9, and then hit zoom fit, zoom 0. And you should be getting the exact same picture you just drew. Look at that. And that is a way of checking yourself. So again, I went to y equals. That's the equation we typed in. Okay, I typed in the equation. And then I went to window and used the interval they gave us, 0 to 9. I hit zoom fit. Okay. Go back to what it made, and now I want to find the maximum. So you're going to hit second trace, go to 4 for maximum. Everybody see where it says left bound? That just means your blinking man needs to be to the left of the highest point. Hit enter. Right bound, you need to get to the right of the highest point. Hit enter. All right, and I end up with this, okay? So I'm going to go back to the question, and it says, over the given interval, round to the nearest integer. That means whole number. So the point is going to be 778. That's the max. All right, so again, I got 6.9999. That's why I wrote 778. Okay? Now, explain what this represents as far as number of sweatshirts sold. Okay? So, way back at the beginning, right, we got to reread the question. The manufacturer determines that the profit, so the equation equals profit, in thousands of dollars as a function of sweatshirts sold X. So X represents sweatshirts. P, the Y value, is the thousands of dollars. So go back over here. So what this means, if 7,000 sweatshirts were sold, the profit is $78,000. And again, the reason why I multiplied those numbers by 1,000 is because it said thousands of dollars. Okay. All right. Next part. Determine how many sweatshirts to the nearest whole sweatshirt the manufacturer would need to produce in order to first make a positive profit. Okay. Justify your answer. So, positive means it's got to be above the zero, okay? So I need to figure out where that happens. This means they're losing money. This means positive profit. They're making money. So I need to know that spot. That's the zero. Wherever something hits the x-axis is called the zero. So I'm going to do second and go to number 2 for 0. And everybody see where it says left? Okay. I need to be to the left of the number. Go to the right, hit enter. Okay. All right. So let's reread the question. Determining how many sweatshirts to the nearest, so we're going to round that, okay? The manufacturer would need to produce in order to first make a profit. Justify your answer. Okay. So I'm going to put, wait, you would write, I found where the graph hits the x-axis. Anything above the x-axis is positive profit. Okay. So we've got x equals 3.54. I'm just going to write down the whole thing for now. Okay. Now remember, the trick to this question is the sweatshirts were in thousands. So I have to take that number and multiply it by 1,000. So 3.5488398 times 1,000. And then we have to round this number. So it's 3,549 sweatshirts. All right. Okay. I'm going to stop there.